During World War II, Germany built a weapon that became the largest artillery cannon ever used in the history of warfare. Yes, so massive that moving it from one place to another required 5 separate trains. And that's not all. Operating it required more than 4,000 people. Just firing a single shot needed enormous preparation and months of planning. When it fired, the entire area shook as if an earthquake had struck. This terrifying weapon was called Schwerer Gustav. It was built by the massive German company Krupp. Their goal was simple: to create a weapon capable of destroying the strongest enemy bunkers, fortresses, and even underground structures from a great distance. At that time, France's Maginot Line and the Soviet Union's defense systems were so strong that breaking them with conventional artillery was nearly impossible. This massive cannon was designed to achieve exactly that. Now imagine standing in front of a cannon about 47 meters long, roughly the length of 8 tanks lined up. Its barrel alone was 32 meters long. The opening was so large that a person could easily walk inside it. It wasn't just big, it was the size of an entire building. Standing next to it would make a human feel like an ant beside a giant. The cannon weighed around 1,350 tons. It was so heavy that it couldn't be placed on normal ground. Specially constructed 4 parallel rail tracks were required. 2 tracks supported the cannon itself, while the other 2 were used by massive cranes to assemble its parts. The entire setup was a remarkable engineering achievement. Transporting it was another huge operation. It had to be disassembled into about 25 large parts, each transported by separate trains. Once at the new location, everything had to be reassembled, which took about 6 weeks. Imagine a weapon that required a month and a half just to prepare before firing. Thousands of people were involved in this process, some laying tracks, others assembling parts, and some preparing ammunition. The whole area looked like a small city. This wasn't just a weapon, it was an entire system. Now comes the most terrifying part: its ammunition. One high explosive shell was about 8 meters long and weighed around 4,800 kilograms. When fired, it could travel nearly 40 kilometers. Upon impact, it could create a crater about 12 meters deep, large enough to swallow a building. Another type was an armor-piercing shell, even heavier at around 7,100 kilograms. It was designed to penetrate deep into the ground before exploding, destroying structures from within. Tests showed it could penetrate up to 10 meters of solid concrete. Even the strongest bunkers were not safe from it. The cannon could strike targets 40 to 45 kilometers away, essentially hitting one city from another. For its time, this was incredible technology, but behind this immense power were serious limitations. Firing a single shot was a slow and complex process. The barrel had to be lowered, the massive shell loaded, and then the propellant added, all with extreme precision. This made the firing rate very slow, making it difficult to keep up with the fast pace of war. Each shot could take up to 45 minutes of preparation. After firing, the rail tracks often shifted due to the immense force, requiring repairs before the next shot. This caused delays and halted operations. Another major issue was that it was almost impossible to hide. The enemy could easily detect its position, making it a constant target. This giant weapon was used during the siege of Sevastopol, where it helped break Soviet defenses. One shell struck an underground ammunition depot, causing a massive explosion and collapsing the entire area. In that moment, the cannon showed its true destructive power. But this raises an important question. If it was so powerful, why didn't Germany win the war? The reality is that despite its strength, its limitations were even greater. It was slow, inefficient, and highly vulnerable. In the fast-moving conditions of war, it simply wasn't practical. In the end, after the war ended, the cannon was dismantled and its parts were scattered. Today, it no longer exists in complete form. Yet one question remains. If humans can build such monstrous weapons for war, what might they create in the future? And will that technology remain limited to war, or could it one day become humanity's greatest threat?